Hey there, welcome back to Reddit Dating, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. Now, let's get into the video.
My wife, 34 female, went to a stranger's house after drinking, and now I have two completely different accounts of what happened during the night. So my wife and her friend went out drinking on Friday night, and she didn't come home till 4 in the morning, which had me worried sick. When she finally came home, she was very drunk and was almost being dragged by her friend. The friend had a guilty look on her face and asked me to be patient while listening to her account. I was of course alarmed. What account? The friend left saying it's better if my wife told me. My wife was obviously out at this point. So I also went to sleep. At around 11 a.m. I am woken up by my wife crying and saying she has committed a horrible mistake and she is very sorry. She was hysterical at this point and I had to calm her down, and finally after calming down she told me that she had gotten so drunk last night that she hooked up with a stranger. I was shocked, as you may imagine, so I pressed for details, and she said that they had met two guys while drinking and they were buying them rounds. At first she says that she turned the drinks down, but when her friend expressed an interest in one of them, they went to talk and accepted drinks from them. My wife was given the responsibility of keeping the friend of the guy busy, while her friend talked to the guy. Eventually, after some time, and a lot of drinks later, they went to the guy's home, and this is where she had sex with him. My wife says that she went there just to make sure her friend is safe, and she had no ulterior motive. She did admit to some harmless flirting with the guy, but said it didn't mean anything, sure. She was adamant that she didn't want to have sex with the guy. Then I said, maybe you were forced, let's try to find out who the guy was first. I asked for more details, but she again said she didn't remember. So I went to pub in the evening and asked around, and luckily the guy my wife's friend hooked up with was there that night too. I talked to him, and he painted a completely different picture of the night. He said he and his friend were very clear with both my wife and her friend from the start that they were looking to hook up, and my wife or her friend never raised any objection. He also said my wife absolutely knew what was going to happen once they went back to the house. I didn't get to meet the other mfking guy who hooked up with my wife, but I did talk to him on the phone, and he also said the same thing. Both women knew exactly what the deal was, and they still went to his house. I did get heated with him, but he insisted he didn't force anyone. He was as drunk as she, and it was completely mutual right from the moment they started talking in the bar. He said I could check the security footage to see how my wife and her friend were acting on that night. I tried, but they wouldn't show me the footage without a police report. I don't know what to think here. My wife insists it's not the case, but did admit to flirting with him. Those guys insist it was mutual. My wife doesn't want to file any case against them, and I am at a loss. Only one thing is clear to me: my wife put her friend's sexual life ahead of our married life, otherwise why go to a stranger's house after midnight? That is clear to me, even if everything else is a mystery. Any advice on how to move forward? Update. I just wanted to make a little update before I get on my flight. After I made my post, I realized I am just too stressed to stay near my wife. Her mere presence was increasing my stress level. So I have decided to go home and spend the New Year's Eve with my parents, aka people who want to stab me in the back. My wife was distraught and crying hysterically, but honestly my only worry was to reach the airport at time. She has been asking me to go to couples therapy, says she will give up drinking, and she will stop going out with her single friends, etc., etc. But I told her I don't care. You are welcome to have an orgy while I am gone, for all I care. I just want some peace and quiet, and I am going to my safe space now. My home used to be my safest space and my wife was my rock, but now that reality has been shattered. Anyway, she also decided to go to her parents' house, so she dropped me at the airport and was still begging to take her with me. But I need some time alone or my brain will overheat. And I don't know under what circumstance will I see her again, divorce or reconciliation. I have no idea. So thank you to everyone who commented, and maybe I will make an update when I make a decision. Right now I just need your best wishes, thank you. Update 1. I am home right now. I am enjoying the cooking of my mother, and have also reconnected with a few old friends who have come home for the holidays. We did some boating in one of the lakes that we have here. It was amazing. Being in the company of people whom you trust to not hurt you really helps you a lot. As for my wife, I am still not talking to her, except to tell her that I have reached home safely and will contact her when I want. My mom has talked to her once or twice, but they don't know anything. I have told them that we are just having some troubles. My parents have been married for 28 years, so they know better than to interfere in my marriage. Anyways, that's all I have to share right now. I have not yet decided whether I will stay married or not. Right now, it's just to enjoy the festival of Christmas with my folks, and then I will decide based on how I am feeling then. Thank you for all your support. Story 2. Boyfriend cheated on me with a man. My boyfriend said in the past he tried to be with a man, but he didn't like it and preferred women. I was perfectly fine either way, but I did tell him before we solidified our relationship that for whatever reason he wanted to leave, or try to new things, etc., if he left, I would forgive him. But he betrayed me, I would rain hellfire. He's always had a close relationship with two of his friends, both men, and they always joshed around, pushed each other, there was touching, but it never made me feel some kind of way about it. I got home from work this morning, I got off a couple hours earlier than planned, and I decided to surprise my BF. He sleeps during the day and works nights, so I figured he was still sleeping. I walk into our home, and he's in A with both of his friends. I screamed at him to leave, to never come back. I threw him and his friends out, naked, no keys, no phones, nothing. I plan on having a family member bring it to them. Since then, I've received dozens of messages from his family and his friends, how they knew it was going on, and they didn't have the guts to tell me. We've been together for 5 years, he's been off and on with them since he was 18. We're in our late 20s now. I'm crushed, I hate this. I hate it so much. He's messaged me a ton of times, saying he's sorry, how he loves me, but I don't have the right parts. I'm so broken-hearted, I don't know what to do. Reddit. Update. Thank you for all the kind words. I had a feeling something like this would happen, but I always ignored it due to previous trauma. The past couple of hours have been life-changing. I haven't cried yet, surprisingly, but part of me feels relief. Is that normal? We had a good relationship, or so I previously thought. I feel like the lie is over, our entire relationship was a fabrication on his side. My mom came over, grabbed their stuff, brought it to them. In the midst of my mom leaving to his friend's place, my ex managed his way over to my home. It's mine, his name isn't on the lease due to an eviction. I was going to help him pay off with my tax check, cried at the door for what seemed like forever. My resolve didn't falter, but I'm receiving more messages about just because he cheated didn't give me the right to kick them out, naked, in the Midwest at 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Which, yes, in the moment, maybe I should have let them grab at least some underwear, but they didn't think about how I've been sleeping in a bed they've been having sex in. I've been kissing the same man they did, and they didn't think twice it was wrong? That maybe if they wanted to do that, they could've, but my ex didn't have the balls to be a man and be upfront about his misdoings. He sat at my place, called me, said he'd do anything to stay with me. I answered the door, and told him there was absolutely nothing he could do. I told him I would have his things packed, and dropped off. He never needs to contact me again. If he shows up at my house, I will call the police. If he insists to continue to show up, I will get a protection order. I want zero contact. I tried to be an adult. I set my boundaries. I've been hurt before, and I thought this time was going to be different. I gave him a way out, long before anything physical happened, said if he wanted to leave, be honest. Don't hurt me. I won't have any hard feelings if you're upfront and truthful. The truth hurts, but getting lied to is soul-crushing. You feel so defeated, I feel defeated. It's not that I wanted him to go either, I had a feeling, but I ignored it due to my own naivety when he said he didn't want to go. That I was his everything. For God's sake, a month ago we were talking about marriage. Everything we built together was based on a lie, and that's the biggest thing I can't get over. I'll keep you guys updated as things progress. You all are pretty much the only people I can talk to.